So this came out last month. Yes, Native Americans from the Dakotas were brought to Des Plaines in Des Plaines, Illinois, in the 1880s in an ill-fated assimilation effort. Yes. So, they love to create the race war and make it about black and white, but really the people that love to commit genocide, there's a reason, it's just common sense here, right? The reason why right away they get rid of children, the elderly, the weak, the disabled, right? Because they can't be workhorses for them. Ultimately, they don't give a shit what skin color you are. They just want workhorses. Well, the same went for the Indians back in the 1880s. They wanted the Indians, okay, for, their bodies to do work, but they wanted to get rid of the culture and they wanted to rid the mind of the Indian culture. So what they did, and there was a few of these schools apparently in the United States, because our federal government was involved in trafficking apparently. So not a surprise. I mean, even way back then. But anyway, they created these training schools. Yeah. And so they would ship them, and so that they could train them, but then they could train them into becoming more Americanized. All right. But in a weird way. And, really not really, it was the Chicago Catholic Diocese. Yeah. Behind it. This was, I think this was one of the authors, in this article. Or I don't remember the name of the book, but he's a Native American, expert. He said the school was struggling financially. This would be, there was one school that was called St. Mary's, Training School. That was struggling. That's what he's referring to. Struggling financially, and the federal government was offering to pay the Chicago Archdiocese $107 per boy annually. So the federal government was offering to pay the Chicago Archdiocese $107 per boy annually. Okay, yeah. So paying for people, yeah. So trafficking and slavery. The purpose of such a contract and the effort to education the natives in Western ways, described, that's who it is, Richard Henry Pratt, who founded the Carlisle Indian, or that's who he's talking about. It doesn't matter. The point is, our federal government has been trafficking. You can look this up. I'm getting to another point here, though. So, yeah, they did this in Pennsylvania, and they did this in Illinois. And as you can see at the bottom there, like what I said at the beginning, they wanted to kill the Indian mind, the culture, and save the body, because use it as a workhorse. So that was what education was about, through the Catholic Archdiocese. So this says St. Mary's was an orphanage, a chance at a decent life, an educator, a family. It was home to literally thousands upon thousands of boys and girls. And had it not been for St. Mary's, who can say what fate would have brought into the lives of those children? Yeah, this sounds like Boys Town, doesn't it? I mean, and look at the picture. Eventually, St. Mary's, they transitioned into what is now known as Maryville Academy. Yeah, I mentioned them last night a few times. Yeah, they were my employer at one time. Yeah, they did they didn't do good things to a kid, but that's the nature of who they are, period. I mean, their roots go back to trafficking with the Archdiocese. Well, and it gets even better because I don't know why somebody like this was running the place for 40 years. The Reverend John Smythe or Smith, a towering figure in Chicago's Catholic and child welfare communities, who passed up an NBA career to become a priest beloved by the famous and vulnerable, but who also faced late life accusations of sexual abuse that are still being investigated, died Tuesday. He died a couple years ago. He was 84. So the reason nothing ever happens to these priests is, well, because it's the archdiocese themselves investigating themselves, so it's never going to go anywhere. So he never had to face his accusers or justice. And he had at least 20, but I think it was way more than that. But he's not the only one. And he headed up Maryville for like 40 years. On Maryville Academy's main campus, this is a statue to that priest. Mm-hmm. Yep, throwing a kid up in the air because he loved the kids. Of course he did. Mm-hmm. And here he is, yeah. Playing with a child. Yeah, no big deal. Heading up the place for 40 years. And then, do you think that's the reason why this Sister Kathy that's been running the place for many years now, she's no better than any of these people. That's why they let yeah, it's dark. It's really dark. I'm going to tell you how dark. But first, just wanted to throw this in. Yeah, this is a lawyer, like, I guess there's a lot of cases, a lot of people that want to come forward. Illinois Church Youth Centers, Maryville Academy, and Angel Guardian linked to sexual abuse. Yeah, it's like throughout their history, but then wouldn't it be? Because their history was linked, at least to Maryville Academies, is linked to slavery. It was linked to brainwashing. And then DCFS came in, and they've been controlling the system, or the archdiocese. I mean, it's hard to say. It's probably both. But they keep these sickos in place. Yeah, all these people got to go. Maryville Academy needs to be shut down to save children's lives. It's not a healthy place. It wasn't when I was there. I could just imagine. I said they go out of their way to hurt these kids. And then it worked to bring the science in. And instead of just these kids went from being orphans to now they have mental illnesses. So the science can study them. Mm-hmm. This was 2020. This was another priest. He was removed from his Lake Zurich position at his parish. Because of allegations at him back from when he was at Maryville Academy. It says there, I can't see a lot of it, but back from his days when he was serving at Maryville Academy in Des Plaines. Yeah, it's amazing how there were so many of the. I mean, I know there's a lot of priests. We've heard about this for years, right? Nothing just ever gets done or anything. And then that's why I couldn't stand Catholic Charities. I'm like, no, you people can never again say you care about children. I worked in a place you fund. Yeah, you guys are just all pocketing the money and giving yourself rewards for what? Being deadbeats? Yeah, well, maybe you should give yourself awards for that. No. And this is Sister Catherine Ryan, who's heading up Maryville Academy to this day. And she loves this. She loves to promote her crisis nursery. All the fundraisers they do for the crisis nursery. Yeah, just a lot of blood money, I would say. Basically, the crisis nursery is if you suddenly have to go in and have surgery, just drop your kids off with the sister here, and they'll be safe. You can come back after you're healed. Yeah. When I was still working for Maryville, they were just bringing in this crisis nursery stuff. So the fact that it's still, I'm not saying that the people that work with these kids I just don't trust. I saw what Maryville does. They don't care about anybody, okay? They don't care about any human beings. I don't know who these people are, but they're wicked. This was Scott Nolan Hospital. Maryville owned this. This is where I worked before they decided that they had to close it. It was their acute psychiatric hospital. Just wanted to end with this. My unit was on the first floor, and I had twice happen where a snake slithered in under the door into the unit. And you know what? That always stuck out to me. I'm like, okay, God, yeah, that's an omen. So yeah, it's all dark, and it's because they're filled with pedophiles.